I wanted to talk about the subject that I spoke about in my 2-minute statement earlier this week about the unprecedented, extraordinary rise in the vote of One Nation and what might be behind it. And I wanted to start with highlighting a study and a publication by ABC News Verify, who did an investigation into foreign websites, foreign influence on Australian politics. And they looked at various shady websites run out of Vietnam, and there was a later study on some websites being run out of Sri Lanka. And they chose a 1-week period to do this investigation. And over that 1 week, they uncovered 400 posts from these two websites in Vietnam that were pretty much untraceable. It's highly sophisticated, deep fake AI videos on Australian politics. More than half of them were featuring Senator Pauline Hanson. Complete fakes. You know, Senator Hanson in hospital giving money to sick kids, so on and so forth. Soft stuff through to anti-immigration, anti-climate stuff. About a third of them, on top of that, were about the Prime Minister. Once again, putting the One Nation Party in a very positive light. Now, that was 1 week. 400 posts in 1 week from two websites that we can't trace. And when ABC Verify went to a number of experts in this area, they said they could guarantee it was just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the kind of content that's being generated. And it's not just in Australia, by the way. This is a massive global challenge for all of us. But they said this is the tip of the iceberg in terms of the political influence campaign that's coming from offshore, interfering in Australian politics and undermining our democracy. Now, it gets a little bit more complicated when you look at the motive or the potential motive behind this kind of disinformation campaign or political influence campaign, however you want to classify it. Is it monetising the algorithm? Are they using Australian politics to try and generate revenue? Possibly. Is it a nefarious, malicious foreign actor campaign, foreign government? Possibly. That's not been ruled out. And once again, ABC Verify in the article spoke to security experts who said it couldn't be ruled out. Is it a directly funded influence campaign on behalf of One Nation or other interests to influence our politics? Once again, no one knows. And just to add a little bit of extra complication, it could have been all three, or certainly a combination of the above. I was, with my colleagues, were wrapping up the Senate Select Committee into climate misinformation and disinformation when this was released. And at the end of the Greens additional comments, we recommended an independent investigation of this as a potential foreign influence campaign on Australian democracy. As was featured in an excellent article that I would refer senators who are interested in this by Alex Fein, it's time to call what it is foreign influence. That was this week. It kind of beggars belief that millions of dollars are obviously going into creating this kind of content. And RMIT did a follow-up article after the ABC Verify report was out and said that this stuff is effective. Wherever it's coming from, it is influencing outcomes here in Australia. And I'm going to deal with some interesting psychology and facts around this in a second, but we recommended an investigation because this is just the tip of the iceberg with AI coming online as strong as it is now. It can produce this kind of content now at an industrial scale, easily, and the services are available for those who want to buy them. There's been a lot of conversation around this lately. You can buy these kind of services. You can buy bot armies now, and you have been able to for a while, where you can influence all the comments on a political page by a senator or by any Australian. I mean, this is big business, and it can be purchased almost like real estate. Now, we know the apparatus is there and how it works. Our committee, for example, uncovered significant coordinated campaigns to provide to undermine climate action globally, and we know that climate action is also linked to campaigns around anti-immigration, anti-trans, a whole bunch of kind of right-wing stuff. The circumstantial evidence for the rise in One Nation's vote around a massive foreign and local information or influence campaign, disinformation campaign, is compelling. And I just urge the Australian media to dig a little bit deeper when they look at that when they assume this is an organic campaign. This political party has gone from a vote of around 6% in the polls to over 30%. That's a rise of 400 to 500%, depending on which poll you go on. And I'm not disputing those polls. This is unprecedented in Australian political history, and it's happened in 9 months. This is a political party that is established, has had the same goals. I wouldn't even say they've had policies, but they've had the same agendas for 30 years. Australians have been moving away from the major parties now for over a decade, especially in the last 5 years. We know that they're disgruntled with politics. So it defies normal explanation what's happened. Clearly, people are looking at One Nation as an option, but we're not asking ourselves why. If someone has paid for a massive disinformation campaign that's promoting One Nation or an influence campaign, they're not shying away from their massive infrastructure they've got around them now, campaign infrastructure in Australia. They're flaunting their relationship with Australia's richest woman and other billionaires. Australians need to know about this because there's things we can do, and we really need to be really worried about where this goes next. This is just the tip of the iceberg for us, and it's only get a whole lot worse if we don't know how to identify these campaigns and put in place roadblocks and guardrails to help Australians understand they're being conned.
Thank you, Senator.